welcome back. We are once again watching some Joshiraku, and if bad puns and kind of insane plot points and visuals are your thing, you're in the right place. If not for space elections and exorcisms, there's giant rabbits. And the less said about some of the other characters, and maybe even what's living up in the attic of this house, the less said about it, the better. But are we back up fully into the team of 5? Just how many of them are going to suffer some debilitating physical corrections? I don't think there's much point in me trying to predict what might happen. So, to sit down, grab a drink, because we need to watch it. No matter how many times I see this, the fact before I press start to immediately being assaulted by this song, no matter what mood I'm in, it's gonna perk me right up. And is the saviour of the day once again going to be the mask? What is her role in all of this? And truly, I think is the smartest of the characters for just staying away from them as much as possible. And honestly, they might be reaching a bit about this being a comedy. Have you heard some of the jokes? Oh, all 5 of them on stage. I wondered where it was going with that one. If they've all got a section of the sentence to say. As soon as Kukuru finished with Matt, so I think I know. And where is Mari in all of this? It's synchronized swimming. I see they tried to change the joke there to something that makes sense. Being 2? Toonami? Does Toonami still exist? The word plays for skinship. How many episodes are we going to go where she's actually stays clothed? Actually, a previous show thing being carried on here. They're all now saying how envious they are of her. I mean, just because she usually gets in that state, but who is this for? Are they just trying their hardest to... Her skin looks unfallible right now. I don't know this one. Are they going to receive equal amounts for the New Year's? And well, nope. Some of these, they get a smile. Others, I can't abide by these jokes. But is it a Russian roulette? Only one of them. Best of 5. And it looks like... I wasn't expecting that. But the actual results of the choosing the envelopes, if they don't open it until everyone's got one, really doesn't matter. You have no idea what could have been. But I guess the illusion of choice here, of your fate not being locked in. Do you really think that any of them would get anywhere near that much? Better luck next time. An IOU, maybe. It's smallpox. I mean, money's money. Still, don't complain. Now, how much is that? Oh, this one feels weighty. Jesus. She's the genius of the crew, obviously. 2,000. I mean, is it legal tender? I don't know. Leave it up to a stock certificate for the railway. Okay. I mean, compared to money, yeah, I think I'd rather have stocks. It's a stamp or a bill. Why did it jingle? You haven't opened it yet? They might be very rare. My dad has a coin collection after all, and some of them are stupid. Like an accidental minting when only a few of them made it into circulation kind of thing. Yeah, she's good at maths. How could you? Yeah, it could be a penny. But it clinked, so there's at least 2 things in there for it to knock off against. Just never open the envelope and you'll have that theoretical apartment. Schrodinger's envelope. I bet she's salivating at that possibility. Treasure. Deepest in the dungeon. Ah, it was a mimic. Who's recording? Well, that just means that she gets to finish off whatever insanity they're about to spew forth. stolen. I mean, Maddie was complaining about she only got to say one thing. A thief. Well, there goes her new home. Are you trying to make her feel worse? Ah. Okay, you go to metaphorical answer. The real envelope was the friends we made along the way. Doesn't make up. Yeah, doesn't make up for her loss. Ha. Womp. You see, crime doesn't pay. Or if it does, it's about 40 yen. I mean, so many questions. The outfit, the cat, the fog. Is she gonna wander into Silent Hill? Just as bad. Is she gonna start charging for this interaction? Yeah, it's not much. I mean, I see that, still bruised as hell, but still. I see some things never change. Whatever counts as luck in this place. Are we just into a world of superstition? How many foibles in a pink elephant? Certain things you might want to lay off then. I was talking about some eels somewhat recently. And they used to be... Eels used to be somewhat of a delicacy in Britain, but nothing like Japan. Bee larvae? Yeah, I've heard all of this. Fly larvae. Some maggots. I mean, if she's wanting to pay them back for what they did to her earlier. Success. Ah. So it's rock candy. Is she going to enjoy that? Yup. How exactly? There's not enough water for the amount of cleansing we need. So it cannot be displayed. Well, you need to repay the water back into the reservoir. How could you? She has been... Really? How are they all going to try? I think they should all take a little dunk in the water. Might make the conversations a little less For many, many reasons, you need to... What's that sound? I mean, the fact that it was just to take the piss. Now they're all wet. The power of suggestive thought and arsehole friends. The inexorable march of time. I, despite my years, have been rather blessed in recent times. Nothing's been too painful. It can't be helped. And is acting like adults. That's just the cataracts. Poor cat. Ah. Classic. Yeah. No refunds. The cat was just very, very old. Is that why we're getting the classical instrument? It's beginning, yeah. It will be forever April. Which means that she has to, oblige them in their thoughts about May. And I think one of them has a better poker face than anyone else. I think we have a winner. How much skin is going to be left on her at the end of this? At least she's kept... At least she kept a little hair antenna. Well, this might be a bit of a leap to say their pros are making people laugh. We've seen some of their shows. Mate. But the fact that they are trying so hard to keep it out of... okay. Keep it out of these blues, just make it so much more... nice moustache. That's just more hallucinations. Pink elephants, the assistants. Bürgermeister. Have they not realised that her usual... in December, January, August... Well, they're all just going to have to be depressed together. I mean, nothing like sharing. I mean, if depression could be solved like this, I wouldn't have had to try so hard. I mean, the amount of times that they've gone through that debacle, I'm sure they would have sorted right now if she's cross-dressing or not. Corner of the eraser, right? Okay, some of them I somewhat understand as some sort of tricks and bullying and whatnot for grudges to grow. The writing of Alice on under her desk? What is that? She has such resilience of heart. Well, what month is the one with the longest break in between public holidays and festivals? That's going to be the hardest. Huh. I mean, she just looks like she's having fun no matter what month, so... Mainly because she doesn't think of anything too closely enough to actually feel bad about it, but still... This is where she becomes the most... He's just here to help. Need anything inked? Where's Kukuru? He was always there. He's always been there. Waiting. He's just trying to... Zip. That's a great way to cheer yourself up. Ruin someone else's day. The fact that it would be... Their sense of time in this year is very warped, by the way. This is going to be a very long month for her. The sardonic attitude. Just cause someone else some pain and hurt. Great way to cheer yourself up. And rather than just everyone saying, cheer up, be happy, here, try and make you laugh, how about try some actual ways to try and help her through a few things. Now, how popular is this Yamashita costume going to be? Are we going to have a whole bunch of them for Halloweens and whatnot? Or is it only applicable in May? A kind of out-of-season Yamashita. But, yeah, they should count themselves lucky. I don't think we got anything for New Year's. There were definitely a few jokes which either didn't quite land or had to be the forbidden word localized. Such as the thing on a swimmer joke with the too close. But obviously, because we don't have the same phonetics as in Japanese, makes sense. The same have to do with the Shiratori game. So it still worked quite well. The fact that Mari had the end of the sentence, the least and the most important. Without her, it wouldn't be able to finish climax, as they kept saying, even if it was only a single syllable. Reminds me back when I was in like, year 4 or something of school, and there was a play. I didn't have any acting roles. I was the lighting technician. It was my job to turn the light on at the beginning. Yeah, it's the most important. Without it, no one could really shine. But we have seen the full range of emotions and whatnot that come with friendship now. Trying to help each other out. Bullying each other. Sorting themselves out with physical confrontation. And also vast trickery. Get them to believe in shrines, superstitions. The real goal? Cover them in water. Nothing says you're a dumbass like a wet ass. But what are they going to do? Keep the 501 and trick vending machines into you taking it? You know, the truly chaotic path there, skirting the edge of the law of what's acceptable. I think a good way of upping its value would be finding people, maybe like me, but mostly my father, who would be interested in taking in foreign coins of some sort of denomination that have a story behind it. You'd get definitely a little more than 40 yen for it. Maybe 45. Once again, yeah, Joshiraku being a show all over the place if it's not trying to deal heavy-hitting topics like seasonal depression. Well, it's not really dealing with anything. But if you do try to learn any of your life tips and well-being from this show, I could only really offer my kindest commiserations. Definitely hasn't been going well, has it? But, barring the point we actually have a helpful assistant peeking around the door frames for us, that must mean that we're doing somewhat alright. If that is the case, let me know. If you enjoyed this episode, maybe leave a like and a comment down below. Joshiraku being a show where so much happens and yet so little of note has actually occurred. And after all of that, especially the existential crisis about the march of time and the inevitability of it all. So, if you want to keep me from a self-degrading spiral, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss future episodes, no matter how grey or wrinkled I become. But you get yourself a bit of rest so that I can see you there.